guys, welcome back to another vlog. If it's your first time of seeing this face, please don't forget to subscribe and also like this video. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thanks for always coming back to watch my videos. I really appreciate it so much. So now I'm just going to be talking about my K1 visa interview because I'm finally done with the interview. I'm going to tell you how it went and all. I'm going to be telling you guys everything that happened from when I got to the embassy till when I was done with the interview. My interview was actually by 6:30. I picked 6:30 to be my interview time because I just wanted to be done with the interview on time. Go to the embassy around 5:30 to 6. At that time, there was so many persons already at the embassy for their interview. I think that it was just basically for immigrants. So the place wasn't that crowded, but it was there were still lots of persons there. So when we got there, as usual, so many persons will tell you this your document is not complete, that and all that. Please don't listen to them. If you know what you really did was the right thing, the right document, because for me, I didn't want to come across such rubbish and them exploiting me before the interview. So I had to go through the documents that they asked me to bring one after the other, and I saw that all my documents were complete. Everything they asked, the originals, the photocopies. I had an envelope for my original documents and also had an envelope for my photocopies. So I will not mix them up. Just the way they asked us to arrange our documents, that's the way I did. So I was so confident in myself that no matter what these people were going to say, I was going to like stand my ground and say I have my correct documents. Getting there, they asked me these are not the interviewers, mind you, these are not people from the embassy at all. These are just people that are doing some photocopying jobs and all that because they want you to patronize them and they will exploit you through that just to do passport. My friend had to do her passport for 4,000 naira. Why me? I did mine for 2,000 before I went there. So just imagine. And she ended up not using that passport. So that's another way of them exploiting you. So just make sure that you have your complete documents and be confident in yourself. That's if you really have your complete documents. So when we got there, after that, we were asked to like when we got to 6:30 at the dot, we were asked to like stay on the queue for them to check us. We had to pass a lot of security checkpoints, just the way it is done in the airport. For this interview, you are not supposed to come along with your phones, but I actually came with my phone and I dropped it at the security place and I had to pay some money to keep it. So if you have the money to pay to keep your phones there, there's no problem. But if you want to just keep your phone at home or you came with somebody, you can just drop your phone in the car or something or give the person to hold for you. So that's how I left. That's how I dropped my phone. I dropped my phone with the security guys. So after the first check, there were like let me say 3 to 4 checkpoints till we got into the hall. The place that you're interviewed is like a hall. That's why it is like the whole place is open. You can see people being interviewed. You can see people being approved or denied. The first place we had to go to was the um place where we had to drop our documents. We had to show them our documents, like arrange documents, how they asked you to arrange. You have to show it to them. We had to like arrange. I think they had to just kind of arrange our files for the people that were going to interview us because by the time it got to time for them to interview us, we were given a number outside before we came into the place. We were given a number. When it gets your turn, your number is going to be called by the um consulate officer, by the visa officer. I don't know what they call them. Like your name is going to be called by the visa officer, and you will go straight to that visa officer for your interview. Actually given a paper to read about the US law and how it helps immigrants and all that. But we didn't do our fingerprints there. We did our fingerprints when we were about to do the interview. So after that, this whole process took a while. It's not the way I'm just saying it. And I actually spent up to 2 hours inside that hall. It actually took time. I think immigrant visa takes time to like do the whole stuff, or like student visa. 2 minutes you're out of that place that have denied you. So this one actually takes a while, and they had to like interview you thoroughly, like ask you a lot of questions, because this is going to be an immigration visa, not just a visa that you have to travel to the US and come back. There was even a particular lady, she was so funny. She came for a K1 visa, but her proof of relationship was her traditional wedding picture. You are coming for a K1 visa and you are bringing your wedding picture as a proof that you're in a relationship. Like, did your village people follow you? Like, I don't get. And she was denied instantly. And the woman was telling her, "Are you trying to make a fool of me? This is a traditional wedding picture. This is a wedding. This is a wedding." And she wasn't able to even say anything to deny it, because everything was like showing that it was a traditional wedding that was going on there, and she was denied. So that's how it was. There were actually like three persons that were interviewing us that day. There was this white guy that everybody wanted him to interview them because he was so friendly, he was so nice. And there was this lady, she was the one everybody dread. Like, nobody wanted her to interview them because she was just denying some persons, and she asked too many questions. She'll ask so many irrelevant questions that you'll be like, "What's wrong with this woman? If you want to give me the visa, just give me. If you don't want to give me, I'm tired. Let me go home." Like, that's how bad her questions were. And there was another particular interviewer. He was a Black American. He will give you the visa. He will give you the visa, but he will question you. He actually didn't deny. I didn't see him deny anybody, but if he calls you, you are going to stay there for a really, really long while. He's going to just be. I don't know whether he enjoys the story you are telling him, but he sharp will take his time. Why the other white guy, sharp, sharp, except he starts like saying things like that are not that are not like going well, it will actually take his time with you, and last, later put you in administrative processing. He actually didn't deny anybody. The least he did was put you into administrative processing. That is, administrative processing is, they will decide on your case later if they will approve it or not. So, or you have to go and bring some more documents to support your case. Yeah, that's it. So I was just like praying, God, let this guy be the one that will interview me. Or I didn't want that woman to interview me at all, or that other guy. And luckily for me, when it got to my turn, he called me and he was like, "Number 15." That was my number. Number 15. When I heard that, I was like, "Oh, thank you, Jesus. This is my first breakthrough." So after I got there, first thing we did was like, it was like, raise your hand. We have to swear that you're going to say nothing but the truth. Everything you're going to say here is the truth, and we did. And I raised my hand. Then we did the thumb printing. I thumb printed, and that's how the questions started. So I wrote down all the questions they asked me on my system. So I'm just going to be reading it to you guys. So just in case you are trying to prepare for your interview, these are the questions they actually asked me. So he first of all asked me like, who is filing for you, which I told him was my fiance. He asked what is his name, what does he do, where does he work. All these questions they asked me when I was there was like, I didn't know he even asked me this much questions. So when I was trying to write down the questions and all that, I saw that, wow, I was really asked a lot of questions. But the guy just made it seem like a conversation between the both of us, and it was just smooth asking, and I was just giving him answers. He asked me where he worked. He asked me what he does. He asked me how we met, and I told him. It was like, when do you plan on getting married? Who will be attending your wedding? He asked if my fiance has been married before. He asked if I was married. He asked if we had any children before, and I said no, we don't have any child. Then he asked how many times have we seen. This is very important, guys. They want to see that you are also physically interested in seeing each other. There was a particular lady that they asked, when did you last see this year? Her own case was a marriage visa, and she said she has seen him in 2021, last in 2021. Like, what do you mean? And because of that, she was given the visa at the end of the day, but Because of that, she was asked so many questions. As in, her interview took like, I think it took like 30 minutes or more. Safe. The man was just drilling her and asking questions because how can you tell me that you have seen your husband just once, and that was in 2021? So mine, I've actually seen mine for like 5 times, and he, because of the proof I put, guys, if you see the proof of relationship I gave to them, there was no way they were ever going to deny me, because I made sure that the pictures were clear enough for them to see. I arranged them, and I even put them in this spiral bind and all that, and it was so nice. And they didn't even ask me so much questions about our trip, because they saw, you've gone to Dubai together. I was like, yeah. And she was like, who paid for the trip? I was like, my fiance did. And that was just all the questions they asked me, guys. And that was just it. And you're like, I'm going to be approving your case. As he said that, guys, I didn't even hear any other thing that he said. I was so happy, guys. Finally, like, something journey that I started since 2021 has finally ended in 2023. And that my interview was March 16th. I was so happy. And after that, he gave me this white paper. When he gave me this white paper, and that was how I'm going to, the white paper contains how I'm going to collect my passport in so number of days and all that. So that was how my interview went, guys. It was so much fun. It was so much fast. But the whole waiting process from the beginning to the end, it actually took like more than 2 hours, because from entering that was 6:30. We entered the place by 6:30, and I came out like almost 9:30 to 10. It took a really long while, but it was worth the wait. It was worth it. So that's it for today's video, guys. Hope you've learned one or two things about this K1 visa process. I know that the process is kind of long, like from 2021 up to 2023. Guys, guess what? This is like the shortest visa category you will ever see in the United States. Like, it's one of the shortest. Marriage visa is longer. I think that one takes like 2.5 years, because you're actually going to wait for your what do you call it, your green card before going. For us, we just go and we'll get our green card over there. For marriage visa, you go with your green card, so it makes it longer. Even parents visa it even takes time. Parents visa also takes time more than fiancé visa. So if you want the fastest route to bring in your fiancé to the United States, I bet you K1 visa is the fastest route. But it's still going to take time. It's still going to take time. Just imagine how much time the other ones are going to take. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. I know now it's just for me to go get my bags and everything ready, so that I'll finally close the distance between me and my partner. Yeah, and I'm so excited about that, guys. So thanks for watching. Take care. Bye. So guys, welcome back. Today is 24th of March and I'm supposed to go get my passport today. I got an email 2 days ago that my passport was ready to be picked up from Benin, and I'm in Lagos. I was thinking it was in Lagos, but I was so surprised that they said I should come pick it up in Benin. You have an option to let somebody else pick up your passport, so I gave my dad to pick it up for me. I scanned the papers he needed to use to take the passport, but when he got there, they told him that the immigrants passports are always picked up in Lagos. So I have to go check if it's here in Lagos, and it's past 10 right now, and I think they close by 1 and reopen again by 2. So I'm just going to get my passport, and I hope it's quick. I heard some persons saying that it's a bit hectic and we stay on the queue for a while. I don't know anything about that yet until I get there and see for myself. So guys, let's go get the passport. Excited.
Back in that bag again. Whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Back in that, yeah. Tell them to watch it. Now I ain't talking my pop.
So guys, I just got back from getting my passport. It actually took me like an hour 26 minutes to get to the place. Traffic was mad. like bad. So I finally got there. When I got there, because I couldn't book an appointment online, I tried. I don't know how to do that. It wasn't working for some reason. So I went there like that, just like hoping I'll be able to get it just like that. When I got there, they started saying those that have booked appointment, come and sit here. They gave them a number on the sheet of paper. When you get to their turn, they'll call the numbers and they'll go get their passport. But I couldn't do that because we didn't book. I didn't book for an appointment. So they asked us to go downstairs and sit under the canopy, which I did. By the time I got there, I sat for a while. Before I went there, they told me to write my name down and go and sit under the canopy downstairs. So I did. So sitting down there, I was like, what's going on? Nothing's happening and nobody's coming to meet us or anything. I think I just have to go back upstairs and see what I can do. So by the time I went back upstairs, I went to talk to one of the security guard, and he was like, what visa are you coming for, immigrant or non-immigrant? I was like, immigrant. So he told me to write my name somewhere. I then I wrote my name. They asked me to sit down. Luckily for me, I had a seat. I sat down, and after a while they started sharing numbers again, and they gave me a number. That's how I actually was able to get my passport today. And after a while I was sitting down, we didn't even take up to 15 minutes. Our names were called, and we went to pick up the passport. I went to pick up the passport and didn't take them at all. When I was done, I came back home, and coming back, it didn't even take like 45 minutes to get here. So just imagine the traffic. Coming back was a bit easier than going. So when getting our passport, they gave us this envelope too. We are not to open it at all for any reason whatsoever. We are just to hand it over to the immigration officer by the time you get to the port of entry. So I'm just going to go keep it. And also, you have to carry it along with you when you are traveling, like in your bag, whatever, your carry-on luggage, not your check-in. You don't check this in with your load and luggage. No, you take it with your carry-on luggage. So when you get to the port of entry, you can just give it to one of the immigration officers there. So that's it, guys. That's it for getting my passport. The whole experience didn't take time, maybe because of how proactive I was about getting my passport, because by the time I was done getting my passport, that was when those persons downstairs were even told to come upstairs before they were even giving numbers. Can you just imagine? So it took me, I got there by past 12, and I left there a few minutes past 1, so it didn't take time. Unlike some persons, I heard they stayed there for like 3 hours, a long time, depending on how the crowd is at the office at that particular time. So that's it for today's video, guys. Bye.